right, yo, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. I want to get on Max Kellerman real quick. Gonna make this brief. All right, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Max Kellerman, you need to be fired. You're a flaming asshole. All right, you go on live TV, you're disrespecting good players for clout and to get your name out there. I mean, dog, you cover boxing, and half of the time people say you're a boxing expert. You're a jackass. You make no sense with all these claims that you're doing. This guy goes into a whole rebuttal of why he wants to make his debates and wants to make his point across. You literally make no sense when you're talking. This is the same clown that said LeBron James was the best player in basketball, and you cannot count injuries to a player's resume because that's a default. Okay, that's an asterisk because you have to beat the guy. In order to beat a man, you have to beat the guy. In order to beat a man, you have to beat the man. All right? So he backtracks from that and says, oh, Kawhi Leonard's the best player in basketball now because LeBron was hurt. And LeBron just left it up there for the taking. No, Kawhi hasn't beaten LeBron yet. Okay? This is why I say by default, Kawhi Leonard is the best player in basketball. I repeatedly say this, I'm giving Kawhi Leonard his props because he won a championship recently. And that you cannot exclude. By the rules of the game, it's just like being in the mob. It's like being on the block. Okay? There's rules. You can't stitch. You can't do this. You can't do that, right? Well, the same thing in basketball. Kawhi Leonard's the man by default, until somebody come and knock him off the hill or till he proves it. Otherwise, he's still the man, Now, do I believe Kawhi Leonard's a better basketball player than LeBron James? In a grand view of things, if you just pit me against a wall and tell me who's better, no, he's not better than LeBron James, prime for prime. I said this over 1,000,000 times. You could backtrack for what I said. I just said, as of right now, Kawhi Leonard is a better basketball player than LeBron James because he won a ring by default. Now, a mano on a mano, LeBron James is still, even at the age of 35, is still overall a better basketball player than Kawhi. I think most of us in our brain know this, right? You cannot be that much of a LeBron hater to know that, But you get assholes like this Max Kellerman disrespecting players like Carmelo Anthony, disrespecting the Greek Freak. This is the same guy that said the Greek Freak was the best player in the basketball, but all of a sudden, come playoff time, you realize the Greek Freak doesn't have enough talent around him to win a championship, so he's not the best player no more. But you give LeBron a pass when he get his ass kicked, or he doesn't get his team over the hump. It doesn't go both ways, dog. To your logic, if a guy's the best player in basketball, shouldn't he be the best player in basketball even if his team doesn't win because it's a team accomplishment? Think about it. You hear me get on James Harden for saying he don't have a championship, right? So I want to put this in perspective. This goes out to guys like Zach, all right? I never disrespected James Harden to the point that I'm saying he's a bum and things like that. I'm just saying he needs to have a resume. He needs to have a ring on his resume. This goes with the territory of basketball. So picture it as you being a guy on the block. You have to make a name for yourself, right? And by making a name for yourself, you had to take out the top dog, right? Unfortunately, you had to take out the top dog, and you had to claim your spot. Now, I'm not advocating violence, but you see the shirt, right? It says Queensbridge, all right? So, if you know anything about that neighborhood, you know anything about people that come from that neighborhood, such as myself, you know that there's two elements to being from Queensbridge. There's the street life, then there's just a regular bystander, okay? I happen to know about both aspects of New York City, nightlife. And you can't be outside in New York City if you don't fit that category or prepared for the worst, because the stick-up kids are outside, the pimps, the people that live a negative lifestyle that you probably wouldn't agree with. That comes with rules. Being on the streets has rules. Just like the NBA, it has rules to and a criteria to being the best player in basketball. You know, but you got clowns like this Max Kellerman. You know, he trying to be something that he's not. This guy claims to be like a hip hop. this asshole claims to be like a hip hop, a scoring there, or you know, like he knows all about hip hop. Dog, you're by all means necessary. You're a guest in hip hop. Okay, you see what I'm wearing on my shirt? You see where I come from? I'm not a guest. If it wasn't for us, you wouldn't have no hip hop. Okay, you wouldn't have that element, that street element, that run them down, that buck them down. Hip hop, if it wasn't for us. I'm from New York. Okay? We started this hip hop stuff. So before you go out and try to culture steal, you know, and try to backpack on stuff that you know nothing about, get your facts straight, Max Kellerman. You are not hip hop. And for that matter, you ain't NBA basketball because you don't know jack of what you're talking about. You disrespecting Carmelo Anthony, man. Carmelo Anthony is a future Hall of Famer. Carmelo Anthony is one of the greatest scorers in basketball history. Okay? Even though he don't have a ring, winning a ring is a team accomplishment. I said in my last damn video that he cost himself some championships. That's on him. He's never going to be mentioned with LeBron and the certain other guys. And I don't put him in that class no more because he don't get a ring. That's the rules of the game. All right? It's the same thing with hip-hop. If you want to be a top elite guy, you want to be a Nas, you want to be a Jay-Z, you want to be a Tupac, you Biggie, there's criteria for that. You can't just bump your way up to the top with nothing on your resume, man. The game don't go that way. It's the same thing on the block. You can't just bump your way to the top. You got to put some work in. You know, Carmelo Anthony is a future Hall of Famer. He's not the elite of the elite. So be it. You know, so this is the same thing I'm trying to tell certain players. I mean, certain people that watch my videos that think, oh, I'm hating on the player. If he ain't got a ring, man, and he a superstar, he gonna have to get held for that. You know, there's accountability that you have to have. For not winning certain things. It just comes with the territory, man. But Max Kellerman, you an asshole, man. You ain't part of hip-hop. You ain't part of sports. And damn near, I don't care how much people say that you know about boxing, you do not know about boxing. I know several people that know more about boxing. My grandfather probably is a better boxer, know the sport more than Max Kellerman. You guys need to stop believing some of these people you see on the media that goes about disrespecting people. You know, and I understand Max Kellerman likes hip hop. He even did like a song and stuff like that. But you know, he like Michael Rappaport. You know, these guys are clowns, man. You know, they culture grabbing. You know, or trying to steal somebody else's culture. I mean, I don't want to make this like a race thing, but there's certain things that you just can't do. I mean, if you can't fit in certain categories, you know. Max Kellerman, dog, you ain't from the block like that. I mean, you from New York, but you ain't from the block like that. You know, just because you from New York doesn't mean you part of hip hop automatically. You part of hip hop culture. You know, Stephen A. Smith, he could speak on hip hop. He from Hollis, Queens. He could talk about it. You know, but even he be buck dancing and talking all this craziness stuff. You know, but that's another. Oh, I'm Stephen A. Smith. This guy screaming and yelling at the screen. Just because you screaming at people don't mean you know about basketball, dog. Man, stop listening to these media-driven guys, man. They be disrespecting players. And I'm standing up for Carmelo Anthony because this guy took a lot of blame and a lot of disrespect from players. Now, I mean, when the Knicks was losing, he was always taking blame for that sorry, garbage-ass team that they had in New York, you know? And the stories about that, Amon Shepard could tell you that, you know. But it comes with the territory for being a superstar. But if you ain't never played basketball on that high level like that, stop trying to disrespect a player and telling people that he's not this, he's not that. For you to say that Max Kellerman that Carmelo Anthony can't win a championship or couldn't win a championship, and the Detroit Pistons won the damn championship the next year later? You biking, man. They won it in 2004. So even with Carmelo Anthony not on the team, they was going to win the championship, dog. He's speaking facts. You know what I mean? Y'all stop hating, man. Peace.